Pew pew. Indeed. Good afternoon, and good morning for the people that will watch later, or the people that are watching us at this moment. Uh, Welcome to the second episode for this season two. And tonight, I have a special lady that I figured it out just a couple of minutes ago. By the way, I was aware that she have quite a different experience in her world, but what she shared with me, I was quite devastated. I'm a little bit, and now I'm quite. I need to rethink all the questions that I was planning to ask. But let me introduce for tonight, for this episode, we have Samantha. Welcome to the show, and thank you for your time. I know it's still mid of the day for you in the afternoon, and thank you for accepting this invite.
It's my pleasure. I'm not sure what I said that devastated you, but I'm curious to see where this goes.
No. Let's see. But before that, welcome to the show. It's pleasure to have you in the show. And Friday
Thank you for
before the
having me.
weekend starts. Yeah. So before the weekend starts, I think we can have a chit chat, indeed conversation. That is indeed the goal of the our show, and to motivate also the others, basically to start learning something new. And I will immediately basically start with the latest link that you shared with me, and I really want to hear more about that immediately, and then we can jump to who is Samantha, what she's doing, and how she's doing. So for those who are confused what I'm talking about, I just got a link from Samantha. Basically, I was not aware that she's working on something that it's called Neuromodular AI architecture. Neuromodular. So now let's start first to explain the words. Can we start from that,
Of
Samantha?
course. So it's a neuromodular AI architecture. I'm an AI engineer and architect. So I spend half of my time building AI solutions for companies and the other half of my time teaching people how to either build AI solutions for themselves and or end users how to use AI, right, in their daily work. And one of the things that I'm very focused on when I'm teaching people how to build AI is to think of AI architecture a little bit in the same way that we think about cloud native solutions. So I'll give
Okay.
you an example here. You can't just take everything that was on your server, lift it up like and
Okay.
drop it into the cloud and say, voila, you are cloud native, right? All you did was take a mess and drop it somewhere else. It's not actually
Okay.
clean. It's kind of like saying I took all the DVDs that I owned, I uploaded to the cloud, I have created Netflix. Voila, I'm done. Um, AI is a little bit similar, right? You can't just build a containerized solution like a block of code in the same way a software is built. It has to
Okay.
be built in little modular sections throughout the cloud with an orchestrator that controls when it calls on different AI services, different machine learning services, so that it's much more intelligent and scalable. So AI builds for me are multiple modules that can be called upon and used for various endpoints, and
Okay.
thus can be scaled and grown over time.
Wow. Wow. This sounds fantastic. First of all, and a big kudos from me about for everything and how you explained it. I really like it, to be honest with you. And basically, I went to the on the LinkedIn. Samantha have some a couple of slides so the people can take a look. I can share the link, correct, in the
Mhm.
chat,
Yes, yeah,
Samantha.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Let me put the link. Here it is. And yeah, why did it? This is by mistake. Sorry. So yeah, coming back to this, but from where is the whole idea, if I'm asked like that? I really agree And for example, me, the building in Pascal, if I remember good, in the high school, I really wanted to build my own Netflix because I have a lot of DVDs. But when the era with the AI and all that stuff, I really have more than 300 TV shows and 300 movies. It was really in the room was a lot of movies and TV shows. And when then the servers happened, yeah, everything is available now on the internet. And
Mhm.
then I became lazy. I think I still keep some of the CDs, but back to the topic, when I started uploading, it was not like you said, yeah, I take it from here, 300, boom, they're uploaded. So it's not working like that. I have some vision, to be completely honest, synology, video streaming, this, that, but that became so complex as a solution, I must be honest. And then I said, yeah, there is a YouTube, there is a Amazon, there is a Netflix, and then the idea was gone. Just to let you know, so I had something like video library, personal one, but then when you see around that everything is available for really funny amount of money, let me call it like that,
Mhm.
5 6 euros, dollars, and they were older movies. I'm talking about from 1990s, 2000, this type of movies. And basically I really quit the plan, to be honest. But I fully agree that it's not so easy like we were thinking. Hey, let me just take copy, paste. It's not so simple. So I really like it how you said the example that, yeah, we have this, we have that, but it's not so easy that we can do just copy,
Mhm.
paste. So it need to be a little bit, how it's called, more analysis, more things to be done, and then basically all of the things can start happening or start executing and all of these things. But looking on the topic, from where is this idea coming from? First of all, I must ask that.
Well, I'm a nurse by trade, so I started my career in healthcare sciences. And so when I started thinking about how to build a really good AI agent, not just slapping AI on top of something pre-existing. Like I have a SharePoint, I'm going to put Copilot on it, and voila, I've built an AI. I wanted to think about the best way to build a really good AI that would
Okay.
become better over time instead of less good over time, and to which we could add more capabilities and more features. Because one of the mistakes I see is companies end up with a sprawl of AIs. They have this AI that does this and that one and that one and that one and that one. And they can end up with hundreds, even thousands of agents, which becomes useless because nobody knows which agent to use and when. Instead of having, one front like Copilot, for example, that can then
Okay.
orchestrate and call diverse agents, right? Multi agent systems. So the way that I started seeing it is the same way our brain functions.
Okay.
Our brain is a mix of different little sections that serve different purposes. And depending on what we're trying to achieve, we'll call certain areas of our brain. So I build the AI systems the same way I build the brain. It needs to have a short term memory, right? So, for example,
Ah,
Azure AI search to go get semantic vectorized sections of grounded information we've given it. It needs to have long-term memory. So a big database where it stores every conversation it's ever had, all of the contextual information from the company that it works for and what its instructions are and what the context is. Then it needs to have multiple cognitive capabilities, right? So different AI
okay.
services and different little agents that it can orchestrate and call depending on what the user requires or what the trigger requires. And then
Okay.
it needs to learn and adapt over time, because if you don't build in a way for it to become better with machine learning and with human in the loop systems and with automated feedback, agents automatically start misbehaving after about 30 days of operation. So it needs to learn over time and actually become better. So that needs to be something that is included. And then finally, the immune system. We as humans need to protect our brains. Otherwise, viruses or infections or, blows to the head might cause us to lose cognitive capabilities. So that for me is security and governance and observability so that we can secure systems.
Why short memory?
Short-term memory is, well, let's say you're talking to a chatbot. It would be very
Okay.
annoying if the chatbot did not remember what you told it 10 sentences ago, right? And it keeps
Yes.
forgetting like Dory the goldfish.
Okay. 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 Short term. Okay. Then it continues. Okay. He remembers that. Okay. And how far we are from solution, if I may ask?
We're not far at all. You can build solutions like that today. Microsoft has
Okay.
all of those capabilities built into Azure, and it's just about putting them together in a really smart way. I'm building agents based on this framework right now for multiple companies, so it's there. The only issue is making sure that the people who are asked to build AI solutions, um, in my opinion, should
Yeah.
be educated on how to build strong AI solutions that become better and can be scaled over time.
Okay. What I'm curious now to ask, related to this, how is going on the secure side about the data, if I may ask like that, because that will be how it's called, sensitive data, private data.
Mhm. So there's
Yeah.
many different ways that you can secure data. So the first thing people need to understand is whenever you are using, let's say, Azure Foundry, and you
Yeah.
decide to base your model on GPT-4 or GPT-5 or
Yeah.
GPT 3.5, the minute that you call an OpenAI model through Azure, you've created a barrier between your organizational data and the model itself. So the model
Okay.
has zero access to your data outside of your environment and your tenant, and your data cannot be used to train the model. So that helps. But then the other thing that I do is whenever there's RAG involved, so we're grounding an AI in organizational data, I tend to make sure that that data is secured in one clean environment as much as possible. And then I give the agent an identity, and I give that identity only the permissions that it needs. So, for example, I'm building an agent right now that needs to be able to read ADO files, but it only needs to be able to read a subsections of ADO files. So I built
Aha.
a
Okay.
solution that only is able to take a snapshot of that subsection of ADO, drop it into an SQL, and the agent only has access to the SQL and not ADO itself. So it can only
Okay.
read what it should be able to read and nothing more.
Nothing more. So depends on the access. Okay. 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 That makes sense. Is the idea something like, with the snapshot of the audio file to be something like Shazam, maybe?
Well, this is a snapshot of an ADO file, right? So it's Azure
Aha.
demo, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this could be for a CRM, for example. You want your agent to be able to pull only particular information from a CRM.
Okay. Yeah. And this type of an exercise, maybe, yeah, couple of, I think it was 3, 4 months ago, I was playing around with the Copilot studio itself.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure, maybe it will help to you from the technical perspective to do not spend so much time on the, how it's called, on this preparation and preparing the foundation, so you can immediately start doing the agent and doing the stuff. Does that make sense also to use maybe the Copilot studio? I'm not sure, maybe if that, as an idea, it came to my mind because I was playing around also,
Yeah.
like what you said. And basically, I don't need to build anything. I just start create an agent, and then you can select this, that, or whatever I need, or what is my goal to create there.
So the vast majority of AI agents are built either from Copilot Studio or from Foundry itself,
Yeah.
depending on what the capabilities are, which makes it a whole lot easier, right? Because it's like a low code solution. Obviously, for builds like I'm building right now, these are really complex, large agents. So you can't just, give some instructions to Copilot Studio and
True.
it'll build it for you. But um, it has taken care of a lot of things, right? If I wanna make an agent available through Teams, I just click a button, right? And the agent I build is now available through Teams. If I want to connect my agent, Copilot Studio has 1,400 pre-built connectors to
Oh,
internal and external resources, right? So you can connect it to an SQL database in one click. You
one
can
instant.
connect it to a SharePoint. It has pre-built tools. You can connect it to Power Automate so that it can read and parse emails. So instead of having to build custom APIs for every little thing or functions, right, for every little thing or logic
Yeah.
apps for every little thing, you have an interface that, simplifies all of those things.
True. I think it was 1 year ago. What you're saying now, I think it was in that period, not available on the AI Foundry. So I was playing around with all of these agents with the
Mhm.
N to 8, N8N, sorry, N8, yeah, N8N. It's some type of a agent for anything basically that you need to create a connector. WhatsApp, Teams, I don't know, well,
Mhm.
any source that you can imagine. Basically, you have that option, and I know there was a lot of automation happening. Uh, do you think also? I know that we are quite on the Microsoft Echo world, but a couple of days ago or last week it was that OpenAI also presented their own SDK, if I remember correctly.
I don't know, I'm not aware.
You didn't check that? Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah. No,
so
no.
much
It's a
going on,
valid.
I don't know.
And that's now it gives me a clear conclusion because I think a couple of days ago, Tuesday, we discussed with friend of mine, and I said, "Hey, did you saw the OpenAI SDK?" And he was the same like you reacted now. And I said, "Is this fake or I'm something happening?" And then I opened, I found out that there is official, but somehow OpenAI the promotion is not really on the high level, if I may say like that.
Mhm.
So the idea, or why I'm asking this, because it says all of these automations, N8 and Zapier and all those type of an application, shortcuts and blah blah blah, it will go away because of this. So you're now checking, okay,
I'm
OpenAI as
looking
the
at what it is specifically. So they're making it okay, so they're making it easier to connect ChatGPT or GPT models to a variety
yeah,
of applications without having to build an API. Well, that makes a whole lot of sense. Um, I will say though, I don't see the use as much because before you use it, you should still pull it through a secured cloud. You shouldn't
true,
just drop it on an app. That sounds like a
true,
really bad idea. It sounds, very unsafe. And the SDK for or the connector to Microsoft has been there for years now.
yeah,
And I'm pretty sure they have one with Amazon. So I'm assuming most people's apps now, right, are living on the
yeah,
cloud. Nobody's building apps on a server anymore. So I would still pull if you're gonna use an open AI, pull it through the cloud. Don't just go smack it on the UI, at the end of it.
yeah.
Um, but of course, for those who are, operating in the fringe and they want to have their own cloud systems, this simplifies things.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay. That's good to hear, if I may call it like that. So now looking forward on the one that you are building, and
Mhm.
I know that it's quite a difficult topic, if I may call it like that. And I know that based on this solution that basically we are discussing, and we shared here. I'm just curious. I know that there is a lot of securing data. I'm just connecting the dots on the technical perspective for yourself, for you, from your side. is there a specifically how you would protect the data using Purview maybe? Or
Mhm.
there was another one, no, Microsoft what was the name? Microsoft Priva. Let me see. Yeah, Microsoft Priva. Microsoft Priva.
Those are security engineer questions, and I am not a security engineer
No,
question.
no, no. The question, my question, yeah. Completely understand. My question is about, because in my opinion, the application or the thing that you are building, it
Mhm,
will contain a lot of sensitive and private data.
mhm,
And just thinking loud with you, because I'm aware that, yeah, secure AI, we use the best practices, all
mhm,
of that. But if you want to go a level above, if I may call it like that, because everything within the AI application is not just for this type of solution, also for all the others.
yeah.
I see also in the organization where I work, for example, there is some millions of AI application now, and everyone say, yeah, AI will protect the data. Don't worry, we use the best practices and blah blah blah. But when it comes to the protection, what I want to know, from your side, of course, if you have experience or you have heard about, maybe not Purview or Priva, but is there a specific way where we can say, yeah, we can use firewall, we can use, I don't know, something else in between, and we can guarantee that the data is highly secure?
So we use Purview. I use Purview on all of my builds, without
Okay,
exception. Anything that is internal is protected from the outside and non-accessible from outside the organization.
okay,
Anything that would be external will have a firewall in front of it as
okay, okay.
well as added protection. And anytime for any reason that we would require authentication, if at all possible, I use Entra ID and Key Vaults. So it really
Yeah,
depends on the type of agent, of course. But anytime you're building any type of agent in the cloud, you should be using all of the best practices and systems and solutions available within your cloud operating system to secure it. We never hard code anything, right? That's really bad practice. Um, but I operate mainly inside of Microsoft, and Microsoft has all of these solutions available,
yeah,
for us. So I usually come up with what I think I'm going to need to keep it secure, and then I send it to my
exactly.
security engineer and I say, read through this and let me know,
Yeah,
if that's okay or if I can add anything, and to make sure that everything is secure.
nice, nice. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Why I asked that question, by the way? I'm in the CISO department, by the way, and we usually, for example, what is happening this year, especially this from January. Now it's already the January 2026, and we were analyzing some context these 2 weeks. We see that everyone says, yeah, we will create application, it will be brown, then we will create a, how it's called, white application, and all that stuff. The data is secure, you don't need to worry, Martin, all good and blah blah. But how is secure, nobody knows about it, and then we come to a fight, because we from the other side, if I may
Oh
call
yeah.
it like that. Can you explain to us what do you mean with that secure? Our data is secure and all of that? Because yeah, maybe for some applications there is, yeah, how it's called, some data that is not so highly important, but
Mhm.
there is a data where you have your address, your name, your postcode, your bank account, for example, and all of those things, which is quite sensitive. And one mistake, I think, can make a lot of troubles to any organization, to any company. That's why, from where this question was coming towards you, to be honest, completely, Samantha. That's why I asked in total, because also friends of mine that are creating some applications, yes, SaaS solution, everything is protected, buddy, don't worry, yeah, I think it's not so easy now. If I put the data there, and then a couple of weeks ago, I will see somewhere my data, I suppose, on some black market maybe, or
Mhm.
something else. So
Yeah.
that's why I was just curious,
No,
to
and
be
it's a
honest.
real concern because I mean, I'll give you an example. My husband earlier, um, said, "Oh, I want to show you something." And I said, "Well, before you touch my computer, you're going to tell me, what it is that you want to show me."
Yeah,
And he said, "Well, I connected my VS Code to ChatGPT. So when there's something wrong in my code, ChatGPT can see my VS Code and fix it." And I said, "You did what now?" And because he doesn't work on any commercial projects, right? It's just
yeah,
for
yeah.
fun. And so he saw no bad in it. I was like, okay, let's say you get something from GitHub and you copy the repo and there's a ransomware hidden in it, or there's any type of bug hidden in it, and you just connected it to your chat GPT. So every conversation you have ever had with that thing is now accessible to a hidden code because you connected. And he looked at me, he was like, "I don't understand why this is an issue." I was like, ChatGPT has enough information in there to replicate you as a person. Like, you can't just do that.
Indeed, indeed. And that is the tricky part. And I think where it comes, if I may say like that, and what I see as a gap, I don't see the gap what you build or anyone that is building. I see the problem how the people are using it, if I may call it
Mhm.
like that. So
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest challenge in the next couple of years. Uh, I think we are all smart, the builders, if I may call it like that. We are quite smart on that side. Not all of us, maybe, but the people, when it comes to use that, that is where it becomes difficult, because also what we have seen, copy paste, secret, key
Mhm.
vault, yeah, chat GPT or whatever. But yeah, it will be interesting to see how it will go, all of that. And
A lot of training and education. One of the big things is that anytime I build an agent, I leave behind a training system with it so that people know how to use it properly and safely. Because otherwise, I mean, you can't just give people access to AI and not tell them how to use it. First of all, they're probably not going to enjoy using it because it's not going to respond the way that they want it to. And then, second of
true,
all, it's just too much risk.
that's true. It's the risk is also too high, to be honest. And but let's see. It will be interesting to see what it will follow, especially next year, because I think these 2 years went really fast.
Yeah.
Copilot, GPT, and I think a lot of on the building phase, let's call it like that, on what you are doing and a lot of other people, it's going so fast. So I'm really curious to see what next year it will happen. Let's call
Mhm.
it like that. Okay. Okay. Well, this was a nice, how it's called, explanation on what you are building. I'm really happy to see that. I never seen that, by the way, just to be completely honest. And I'm really happy that I met the person that is building something like that. And it's something new for me also, so I can learn something new. But now going back, indeed, on how Samantha is coming to this field, or from I know that you were a nurse and all
Mhm.
that stuff. You mentioned a little bit, but from where the idea, first of all, to switch the careers, that is more interesting to hear from you. For example, because what I know, that if you went to the medicine, first of all, it's a long period of studying.
Mhm.
Am I correct?
Yep.
And then after you spent a lot of years, you decide, yeah, I want to work a little bit AI, this, that, for example, just throwing out. It's a bit of strange, weird, maybe. Can I
Oh,
say it
yeah.
like that?
Of course. Yeah. It is weird. I agree. I think it was first of all, I mean, this happened over like 15 years, 17 years, right? It was a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
process. And when I became a nurse, a couple of years into being a nurse, I joined one of the first health tech companies that was available in Canada. And when joined that company, back then, there were no softwares or programs available to make health tech easier, right? It just did not exist. And
Mm,
so, in order to build and grow and better service our patients, I needed to come up with better solutions. And so, we had to create those solutions, right? We couldn't just buy them. And so inevitably, I started learning how to do a lot of these things because I'm a control freak and I couldn't just give it to IT and say, go build that. I needed to be involved, right? Many years later, I opened my own health tech companies and softwares and solutions started, being available, but I was always dissatisfied with them. I never thought they operated the way that I wanted them to. They didn't have the capabilities that I wanted. And I hated having to put in a request for a change. I wanted to go
Okay.
in, change it. So, for example, the website, I built the website. I just learned how to build a website and I built the website. Our CRM, I hated every CRM I found. So I built it. We needed a charting system, didn't like the ones available. So I built one. And so slowly but surely over the years, I became more and more, tech capable, if you will, out of a need, right? And building those solutions. And at some point, I had become, relatively knowledgeable. And I had a friend who worked in tech. She had been in tech for like 35 years. And she said, you would be great in tech. And I looked at her and was like, what are you talking about? I would be great in tech. You have to start coding at age 5, to get into technology.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you don't. It's a misconception. She's like, you just need to be somebody who's smart and who can learn. And I love learning. I'm continuously, learning something new. So for the fun of it, I decided to go on Microsoft Learn and
Okay.
study for a certificate, just for fun, learn how to build an app. And I didn't check with anybody. So I studied it all in a couple of days. And then I took the exam and I passed. And I told
Okay.
her, "Oh, look, I got a certificate." And she said, "What do you mean? When did you do this?" I said, "This week." She's like, "It's supposed to take you 6 months to do that." And I was like, "Okay, well, it didn't take me 6 months. It's not that hard."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the next thing you knew, I did another one, and then I was given my first opportunity, and I did well, and I learned more. And eventually, I found my way into AI. Fell in love with it because it's all statistics, and I studied epidemiology, and I love statistics. I think it's an amazing way to approach the world and to learn new things. Statistics
Yeah.
is all about learning, right, and
Yeah.
inferring analysis. So AI was that mix between my love of math and my love of learning and
Mm,
my love of serving humans, right? Wrapped into one.
true. And the thing that connects all the your previous experience, if I may
Mhm.
call like that, and also the new experience that you were building, let's call it like that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow. Wow. This is really nice. I didn't expect this, to be honest. That yeah, I would like to switch because usually, yeah, I have a couple of friends that are in the medicine, let's call it like that, in completely
Mhm.
separate field. But I think it's also a view on how you see the things, and I really like, first of all, yeah, your approach that you step out from that comfort zone. Can I call it like that? Because
Yeah.
usually the medicine, once you finish, you well, maybe it sounds stupid if I say it like that. Yeah, it's not something that you are learning every day. I mean, you can, but then you need to have a thesis, I suppose, and then specific
Well, we
subject.
have
And all.
annual learning credits that we have to achieve in order to stay certified and credentialized, but it's just about keeping on top of new research. But there's a 10-year delay in medicine between when research comes out and before it gets applied. So it's much
Yes,
slower than technology where, every single day there's something coming out.
indeed. That's fully agree with you on this one. And coming back, I know friend of mine is working for a company which it's about blood examples and blood check. So I think that is going quite fast. From what I know from him, that's also medicine related, if I may
Yeah.
call it like that. And I know that there is a lot of technologies and software already built that can store the data and all that stuff. Do you expect, if I may call it like that, from your personal experience, that, for example, like the blood check examples and something else maybe that can come out now with the AI, maybe fast or improvement?
Listen, there's so much we could do in healthcare with AI. It could keep us busy for the next 30 years easily. ER triage systems, blood analysis, X-ray analysis. Um, oh my gosh, there's just so much. In healthcare, the potential of what we could achieve, the quality of life we could give back to people, the preventative medicine that we can get into. I have a friend who's working on kidney disease, right? And being able to
Okay.
diagnose kidney disease way before it becomes critical, because kidney disease, the problem is you become symptomatic when you're very, very sick, right? And it's a little bit too late to do much at that point. And so he's using AI to try and build solutions that will help people be diagnosed with kidney disease before it becomes, critical, and they need to,
Wow.
be in the hospital for treatments 3 to 4 days a week.
Wow. Wow. Is there a possibility for the AI vision? Just curious about if you have experience or read something about it, maybe.
Oh, there's
With
many.
the AI vision to be, for example, also just thinking loud with you, because I know a lot of oil companies are looking now. I think they're waiting for the change of the law regulation because it's
Mhm,
not everywhere allowed. So they want to use AI vision for mapping fields, for example,
mhm.
where they're planning to do the stuff. So I'm just curious because yeah, that's a business. It's a big business. Let's call it like that. On the other side, on the health, do you think we can use the AI vision also for something, I don't know, interesting? Just thinking loud with you.
Well, one of the first use cases that was proposed when AI came out in healthcare was the analysis of X-rays, right? Where
Oh,
AI vision
yeah.
would be involved in being able to find signs of disease on X-rays that are very difficult for the human eye to actually be able to see and recognize.
Wow, well, that's quite a lot, if I may be honest. So the vision and also the AI and what we are saying. Indeed, I fully agree now that 30 years, maybe it's a small amount of years
Mhm.
where we can improve all of those things, if I may say like that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be interesting. Okay, okay. I hope we will use the resources on the right way. That's the only observation that I have, a little bit. So I hope that, yeah, everyone will try to help on that because on all of us, health is needed, and we all want to improve and to live longer. Let's call it
Yeah.
like that. Okay, okay. This is a nice, how to say, uh, nice to hear all of that. First of all, but second of all, if I may call it like that, once you're done with this, I know that it's never done on something that is project. Do you have any idea that you're planning to build also something else, or already some ideas that you're working on it?
I'm involved in the build of about 6 different agents at the moment, you
Okay,
know, um, and I do have a personal project that I am
okay,
thinking of building. I would like to build actually a tech career orienting agent that helps people who want to pivot into tech and or change their domain in tech, find a good career path for themselves, the right certification path, the right way to meet the right people, and basically build the portfolio that they need to
yeah.
swing the balance. Because I'm a big geek and I love learning, so that's one thing, that I'm working on. Um, I have many AI potential products that are sitting there that, if somebody says, "Here, I'll give you, the money and the credits to go ahead and
Yeah.
build it," I'm just gonna go and build it. But, one thing at a time.
Wow. Yeah, that's nice to hear indeed. And what is the expectation, if I may ask like that, from Samantha, till where this will go, if I may call it like that?
You mean
What
AI?
is your vision? Yes.
I have no idea where it's gonna go. Nobody has
I know
any.
it's never ending. I know
Oh,
it's never ending challenge. There
yeah.
will be challenges all the time. But
Mhm.
just also, I'm summarizing these 2 years, how fast everything arrived. Let's be
Yep,
honest.
yep.
It came in so fast, and somehow a lot of information, so a lot of stuff came towards us and all that stuff. Oh, there is new AI tool, there is new service, this, that.
Mhm.
It's coming from everywhere. We are just, doing like the soldiers on the in the war, if I may call it like that. And do you expect that something will finish soon, if I may call it like that? I know that there will be continuously working on it, but for example, what I expect and why I'm asking you this, I expect, for example, in 3-4 years, that there will be some type of stagnation, I think is the word, where it will just, guys, take a deep breath. Next year, we go again.
Well, I think we're gonna hit a plateau at some point just, due to the limits of computational power. We're gonna
Okay.
get to a point where we have things that we know how to build, that we want to build, capabilities within AI that we must table until we have the
Okay.
computational capabilities of doing that. But while we wait for that to happen, I think what's gonna happen is we are going to hit a stage where instead of new things popping up continuously, we're going to be learning how to build AI properly, how to integrate AI properly, how to build
Okay.
systems that last instead of the hype. You've seen a lot of companies on LinkedIn come out and they're like, we're building these agents for
Yeah.
you. And they're wonderful and exciting and da 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 da. But a lot of these agents, within 6 months stop functioning well, right? Or they don't have proper security and governance within them. It's all about the hype,
True.
it's all about the money, right? And one of the
True.
things Microsoft is very adamant about, and I'm very pro, is teach, educate, build properly, secure, make it robust, make it scalable. Of course, it's exciting, and of course, I could turn around and pop agents left and right, but it's not going to have the impact that we wanted to have if we do that. So I think we're in a phase right now where everybody's a little bit too excited and everybody and their mother is building AIs. And
Yeah.
at some point, it's going to slow down and we're going to start reining it in a little bit. I think every company should have an AI person that decides if an AI will be built or not, how it will
Okay.
be built, where it will be built, how it will be accessed, so that we don't end up with these immense sprawls of useless AIs, across companies.
Indeed. And what I see also, to connect on your story, I fully agree with you, but somehow I think the companies went to AI, even on
Mhm,
the conferences. Now, what the people are saying, if I may be honest, yeah, it's again the same AI, AI. Everyone is saying AI, but how the quality it is of that AI, I'm not sure about that. Let's call it like that.
mhm,
So that's also a bit of difficult. Where I fully agree with you. Yes, there should be a person there in all the companies. Yeah, I think now we can start building AI. We
mhm.
have enough mature developers. We have enough knowledge about, I don't know, AI, this or Foundry or anything related there, and let's do the magic. Let's call it like that, and build the next applications within our organization. Indeed, it, it's becoming a little bit, yeah, also how it's called, a taboo topic or boring topic, to be completely honest with you, on what I see also LinkedIn and all the companies, because now it's everyone, whatever we open now, whatever we mention now, and we open a LinkedIn company, we will see minimum AI, just AI. This company is using AI, then AI applications, AI agents, AI this, AI this. I think it would became a so buzzword, a word, word indeed.
I think
And
people need to stop focusing on the AI portion of their AI solution and start building on what does it do?
true,
Does it improve anybody's life? Does it change business outcomes? Like, what is it actually doing? It's not just build it and they will come, right? It's
yeah,
what is this? What's the purpose? What's the point?
true, true. What's the reason to build that? Let's call it like that. Indeed, is there a relevant reason? And I must be honest, my analysis. I think 2 months ago I was scanning a little bit on the market, also YouTube, this and that. There is so many applications that are executing the same thing,
Mhm.
like video creation, for example. You have minimum 10 applications, AI applications,
Yeah.
that built a video on behalf of you.
Yep.
Grammar applications, more than 50 applications they do on behalf of you. Productivity applications, all of them are using AI.
Yeah.
All of them. I don't know how they will help to organize my life, but that's a different story.
No,
I
sure.
need to have an additional brain maybe next to me, and then we can do the stuff and all of
Might
those
get
things.
the AI personal assistant real soon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, we are waiting. Looking forward to
It'll
it.
schedule your groceries for you.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, can you go to take groceries? 2 kilo
Walk the dog,
bananas and this. Yeah, yeah. Tell down that we have a podcast. They need to be quiet. Tell down. So it can do all the stuff and do our job indeed. Uh, Based on all of this that we discussed, I'm curious. Maybe also today I discussed with a little bit and reading about. I was using a couple of months ago, but that's exploring. Do you have been using a vibe coding and all of those stuff? Because I see that also one type of a buzzword. That's why I'm asking, as a
Mhm.
you building an application, how do you see on that, if I may call it like
So here, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding on vibe coding.
that? Okay.
And a lot of developers even, are like, am I going to lose my job? And here's the thing. What's going to happen, and I use GitHub Copilot and all of these wonderful tools that help you, code faster because I am not a programmer. Like that is not my thing.
Okay.
I
Yeah, yeah.
can get around and I can fix it when it's broken, but it is not my thing. If you want to get me nervous, open a VS Code with a lot of red lines, like I'm gonna, or a lot of bugs, like I'm gonna need a couple cups of coffee, right? It's not my thing.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
and the way that I explain it is, all of these tools are not meant to replace your brain. They are meant to be tentacles, like you're an octopus. You are supposed to, with your knowledge and your intelligence and your wisdom and your experience, architect a solution, make a plan of the architecture, decide how it's going to behave, how it's going to integrate, break that into code blocks of like, okay, well, that has to do that, that has to do that, and then and only then use the tools like GitHub Copilot to say, okay, we're going to start by building a block that can do this, and then review it and say, okay, looks good, apply it. And okay, now we're going to build this portion. It's not like I'm going to take my computer and tell, Copilot, I want to build a fitness app, go build my app, right? Which is what a lot of vibe coding ends up being.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because basically you're just building garbage faster.
I can agree on this indeed, but there is why I ask this. It's also one of the topic why I ask this, because I also get some developers. Hey, Martin, what should I do next as a trainer and all that stuff? To be honest with you, hey, I will lose my job. You see what is happening, vibe coding, this and that. And then we sit together, discuss, and blah, blah, blah. But also on the other side, there is a good point from a lot of people, let's call it like that, because I discussed this year with so many people privately, also on this podcast and all that stuff. There is a people with the vibe coding that all of us, we are all on the same page that it's a bullshit,
Mhm,
but they all make the big money with the vibe coding applications, which we are quite aware that it's a quality zero.
mhm.
It's not something okay,
It's
and
a
all
hype.
those things.
All
Yeah,
hype.
yeah, it's a hype indeed. Indeed, that's the word.
All
It's a
hype.
hype, but
You know?
still they make a lot of on the, yeah, on the finance side, a lot of than the other developers. For example, in the if I may say, you as a developer, when I will see your code, yeah, you see the point. It's a good quality. It have this, that, inheritance, this, that, right direction. But then you have the other side, which we all say it's not good, but then the applications that are created by that, it's really crushing the market. Can I say it that? Am I allowed?
So the,
Crushing?
the, the
Mm,
thing with that is, and any hype in any industry is going to have the same impact. You're going to have people who are opportunistic, who are going to charge big dollars to deliver things really quickly. But when it breaks, don't try and call them. They're not going to answer the phone.
True.
And so it won't take very long before customers become a little bit more discerning when it comes to builds, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to think, well, I don't want the cheapest or the fastest. I want customer service. I want to make sure that it's not gonna build but break, but if it does break, you know how to fix it, etc. And if you vibe coded an app, you can't fix it when it
Fix
breaks
it.
because you have no idea what you've coded, right?
Interesting.
So what I've told a lot of developers who are afraid of their careers is you need to learn how to use the tools. You need to think of yourself like a puppet master that has
Yeah.
18 screens in front of you, and you're telling this agent to do that, and that agent to do that, and that one to do that, and be able to build really intelligent, well functioning,
True.
impressive, solid, solutions that normally would have taken you 2 years to build, but now maybe you're able to do in 4, 5, or 6 months, right? So if you adapt and you use your knowledge and your experience, and then you leverage AI,
Yeah.
those little vibe coders, they're going to be mosquitoes
Gone.
compared to what you're
Indeed.
able to do. So, like, up level, that's all you really need to do.
True. That's fully agree on this one. And basically, yeah, it will take some time. At the end of the day, let's be honest, it will take some time when it will come to that, because also what we see, also the current developer need to improve their skills a little bit. Let me call it like that, on the
Mhm.
best practices and how they use and how they develop the applications. But yeah, what I want to say, yeah. Uh, what is the maybe the next challenge for Samantha, if I may ask like that?
Oh, the next challenge.
Because it's
Uh,
also motivate a little bit why I'm asking this. So I switched from
mhm,
vibe coding to this to that. I was how it's called, from one point to another, a lot of stuff, because for me it's quite impressive. First of all, I must be honest, from the medicine to the AI, now building something yours, and you already have a lot of ideas, which give big kudos. First of all, that you step out from that comfort zone. It's really Friday evening, and it's really, for me, I must be honest, I'm a guy that is quite active on this field with the learning and doing, exploring new stuff. But this is quite inspiring for me also. I must be honest, completely with you. So I'm just curious to hear what is the next challenge for you, if I may call it like that.
I think for me, the next challenge and what I'm trying to push myself to do is more interactive systems. So, an example would be an ER triage system that needs to touch upon 5 or 6 different internal hospital systems. So we're talking about multiple AI agents orchestrated, throughout multiple systems, and with a lot of APIs and a lot of functions and a lot of apps, a lot of moving parts. And I'm not a programmer, right? I didn't
Right.
start out as a programmer. So for me, getting all the automations right and the interactivity with all these systems is harder than the AI portion of it. So that's where I'm trying to start building AI systems that are a lot more widespread so that they can englobe an entire company's operation.
Okay, so you still want to stay in the field where you started, if I may call it like that?
Well, I mean, healthcare is an example, but this could be done in pretty much any industry. It's just the idea of, instead of an AI being slapped on top of this program or this
Yeah.
app, we take the company as a whole
Cool.
and you build one massive AI system that lives and breathes within all of its other systems
So the
with
company,
interface
again, in my
multiple.
head, is the brain.
Yeah,
Translated, yeah, correct?
exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
okay,
So
okay.
that we're talking about really intense interactivity where the workflows that people already use are
Yeah.
leveraged through AI without adding to their work. So that's where I'm trying to push a little bit further with every build.
Okay, so this is for next year, or this is already planned for 2026?
I mean, it depends on when the opportunity shows itself, right? So
Okay,
the
okay,
right company who's like, we would like that, then
okay,
we can
okay.
get to it.
Indeed, indeed. And now to reply on your stuff, on the motivational stuff, we create the opportunities, not them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, okay, yeah, really nice. I don't know. I'm quite inspired. I somehow got a lot of information. I think I'm now executing here. It was nice talking. First of all,
It was nice meeting you as
I
well.
really enjoy it. Uh, as a last question from my side, because I'm asking also the others, just as a motivation for myself to read something new. What was your last book that you read? Not
I have
technical, technical, whatever you read, if I may call it like that.
well, I read technical and non-technical books. So I'm reading the Fourth Wing series, which is a fictional book series that was recommended. I read recently. I bought and I'm gonna start reading the Microsoft Way book
Okay.
I was never aware about, and I was just curious to see what's gonna happen. Um, I also read how to pass the code interview recently for
Okay.
fun. I was just curious. I'm not a programmer again, so I was like,
Yeah,
curious,
yeah, yeah.
I wonder what they have to say about this. Yeah, I have a big collection of ongoing books. I'm a big, big reader.
Really nice. Really nice. Accept the biggest thank you to you and kudos for everything that you have done. I hope next year we will come with a nice presentation, maybe with
Of
your
course.
latest product.
Mhm.
That's my view. I would wish you all my luck on building this type of a things,
Thank
especially
you.
for the health. I really appreciate all of that the people are doing on the how it's called in the health sphere, if I may call it like that. So big kudos, but mainly the first kudos that you really step in from the how it's called from the execution on the ground level. You went really to help to the people that really need the help. So that's why also as a reason I really wanted you to have you as a guest, because it was also your experience. It looks quite inspiring, and now I just got confirmation about it. So thank you about that. And yeah, I would wish you a wonderful weekend. Take some
You
rest, if
too.
I may call it like that. The applications can be building again from Monday, if I may call it like that. So you can read some book in the meantime, maybe just to enjoy. And yeah, have a nice weekend. All basically, Samantha, also you. And thank you for being part of the show.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye bye.